Hello and welcome to the CEO's Podcast. My name is Eric Green, and if you do not know who I am, I'm on a show called Advertising LA. Plus, I used to be on a show called Business 911, and now I'm here to help you get your business right. So I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. If you're looking to grow your business, maybe you're a CEO, maybe you're a business owner, it doesn't matter. This is what we're here to do. We're here to grow businesses. If your business needs growing, then you're in the right spot. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I own a company called United Ad Agency, and every company that I've ever started, I have started out completely on my own. I've started out from the bottom and worked my way all the way up. And that's what I want to help you guys do. I want to help you start at the bottom and get here. You know what I mean? Started at the bottom, now we're here. So that's what I'm trying to help you do. I'm trying to help you get here. I'm trying to help you get where you need to be. And one of the things that, as a business owner, what we forget to do if we're CEOs of a business, whatever, we have to remember that just because I'm the CEO of a company does not mean I am not a salesperson. I am a salesperson, number one and foremost. I have to always keep that in mind because that's what it's going to take to drive revenue. It's going to be sales. If I don't know your company's there, then it's going to be hard to get a sale from me. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today is going to be just attention. Are you grabbing attention for your business? You see, advertising has completely changed the way that it used to be. Okay, and I hear a lot of people, especially old school people who've been in advertising for 50 years or plus. I've heard them say a lot, no, it's the same. It's just through different media. Well, that is not true. That is not the case. You see, advertising has changed so much. Now you have interactive advertising where you can actually interact with whoever your customer is. You can actually do this now, whereas, just with TV before, you weren't really interacting. And the great thing about advertising now is you can actually target way better than TV could ever imagine. So with television, how they find your potential customers is they go by something called demographics. If you're not familiar with demographics, what demographics are going to be is just where a person lives, how much they make per year, what kind of car they drive, so on and so forth. Well, that's great. Social media does the same thing with demographics, but they go a step further with something called psychographics. Now, why psychographics are important to your business is because psychographics are going to be behaviors. Why are behaviors important to your business? Well, because let's say you own a dog food company, okay? You own a dog food company, then you have to realize that I need to find people who are interested in dogs. Well, if you have an interest in dogs, what is that? That's a behavior. That would be a psychographic. So you could take the same amount of money that you could spend on a TV commercial and not make, you would not do as well as you would with social media. And I know a lot of people, they're like, what? Hear me out. When 2023 hits, they're talking about 90% of people who live in the United States are on social media. That is a crazy number. Why that number is so crazy? Because only 44% of people that live in the United States still pay for cable TV. So this is crazy. You need to make sure that your business is on social media. You need to make sure that your business is dominating on social media because, again, the way we advertise now is completely different than it used to be. You're going to have way more opportunities now than you could ever have had in the past. So you need to make sure that you're constantly pumping your content out on social media. If I don't know your business is there, I cannot do business with you. It's that simple. And I know there's a lot of business owners, there's a lot of CEOs out there that treat social media like it's just something that you're going to get on there and do TikTok dances. TikTok dancing is not going to help your business. It's not unless you own a dance studio. So TikTok dancing is not going to help you, but what will help you is detail targeting, creative content. These are all important aspects of your marketing, because I see a lot of business owners, they just get on there and they're real generic with their videos. When they do a video, they're like, hey, my name is such and such, my company is such and such, and this is what we offer. Buy from us. Buy now, buy now. I call that the buy now strategy, and the buy now strategy very, very, very rarely works. And I would say that it probably never works. That would be my guess, is that it never works. So don't do this strategy. One of the things that you can do is the 70-30 rule. 70% of the time you're giving valuable information that's going to help people. It's going to help them solve their problems. Because let's face it, if you're a business owner, if you're a CEO, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you are the CEO of a fast food company. You have one job, and that is to solve a problem. If you're the fast food of a CEO company, or you're the CEO of a fast food company, sorry, I said that backwards. My ADHD is coming through, I guess, or something. I don't know. But yeah, if you're the CEO of a fast food company, then you have to remember that you have to solve people's problems of wanting food quickly. That's it. That's all. That's your job. And your job is to get as much sales as you can possibly get. You know, that's your job. Okay. And there's so many companies out there right now that are doing this completely wrong. I see a lot of companies doing things like influencer marketing and stuff like that. And that's pretty good. You know, that can definitely work. It can definitely generate business, but unfortunately that usually just generates business short term. Okay, influencer marketing is going to be, you know, kind of short-lived. And the reason that is because a lot of these influencers out here, they're not really, you know, they're not sticking with it because, one, they want so much money. If they're an influencer like, you know, Mr. Beast, and you own some sort of restaurant or something like that, chances are he's not going to work with you because he's got the Mr. Beast burger. And if you look at the Mr. Beast burger right now, it is killing it. This guy is killing it. He's coming through and he's destroying brands that have been around forever, for decades and decades, and he's coming through and he is destroying them. And the reason that he's doing this is because people want to, they don't want to connect with a brand so much. They want to connect with individuals. And see, that's where he's winning, is because he's an individual to most people. Mr. Beast is an individual. He's not a big brand, even though he is a brand. He is without a brand. And I just heard somewhere where the guy turned down $1 million deal, or $1 billion deal. I'm sorry, $1 billion deal to sell his brand. And he said, I didn't do it because I think my brand is worth a lot more than $1 billion. And I agree with him. I think his brand is worth way more than $1 billion. I'm sorry. So that's you know, something that a lot of you large companies out there, you need to start really looking at. I would start looking at, well, one of the things that we help companies do, and I if you know anything about me or any of the companies, I own a company called United Ad Agency. We've worked with tons of companies. We worked with companies like Taco Bell. We've worked with companies like Jason's Deli. We've worked with companies here locally in Los Angeles like Starline Tours. If you haven't heard of Starline Tours, go check those dudes out. Man, they got some double-decker buses. They take you all over the city. It's really cool. Go check them out. But we work with brands like that, and that's one of the things that, you know, we like to tell everybody that we work with is, you know, influencer marketing is great, but what's better than influencer marketing is going to be creating your own influencer. And this is where most brands, they, you know, you see PR companies try to do this all the time and they fail miserably at it. But, you know, this is something that, you know, most major brands, they try to do this as well and they fail at it. And it's not easy to do. My company specializes in this, so that's something that we love to do. We love to connect brands with their own influencers, and that way you have control. People don't trust brands anymore. The days of I buy Tide because my mom bought Tide, those days are kind of gone if you're a brand. Now they still exist though if you are an individual. For example, Mr. Beast again. He is somebody that, you know, started a hamburger business. He started his own restaurant, okay? And now he's competing with McDonald's. He's competing with, you know, all the big boys out there. And this is just some guy that started making videos in his bedroom. So, you know, where advertising is and where it's going is, you know, it's still so new that there's not a company out there that can say I am 1,000% sure this is where everything is going. I know there's a lot of companies out there pushing the metaverse and stuff right now, and you know the metaverse is, you know, I think it's good, but I don't give it as much credit as a lot of these individuals out here do. I think that in given time it could be, but I think we're still probably a good 10 years away from that, and maybe even longer, to be honest with you. VR has been around for a really long time. It's been around since, you know, I had a VR headset back in the 80s it was like Game Boy VR. I don't know if anybody remembers this. If you remember this, throw it down in the comment section. But yeah, I mean, you know, that is something that, you know, has been around for a really long time, and it never really caught on. I know it's getting better and better, and the technology is just improving all the time, but I'm still skeptical about, you know, VR. I would stick more towards just videos right now, and there's a lot of businesses out there that's still not utilizing videos. They're still just doing written content posts on social media and stuff like that, and this is where you guys are screwing up majorly. Video is where it is. You know, we learned this back in the 1940s when TV first came around. Okay, if you know, people liked reading better than they liked watching a video, then TV would have never been a thing and newspapers would still dominate. Well, that's not the case. People like videos. People like to see what they're talking, you know, see whatever is going on. You know, video is going to be better than radio. It's going to be better than anything. And if you can take a good video and you can put that video in front of the right people, that's when it's a game changer for your business. It's going to be a complete game changer because I'm now showing my content to people who are interested in what I have. I can actually show my content to people who, you know, like for me, for instance, I want business owners seeing my content. I want business owners calling me. I want business owners saying, hey, I need your advertising agency to handle everything for me. And that's what I'm looking for. And if you're one of those business owners who wants to give me a call, then hey, give me a call. Our prices start at $250 a month and go all the way up to, well, one of our top packages is going to be $45,000 a month. So, I mean, you know, we have a price range for every business, and we actually even go higher than that. We've got, you know, some packages that are $1 million a month. So it just depends on the size of your company. And one of the things that, you know, I would suggest to most of you business owners out there is have a variety of prices, at least 3, you know, have at least 3 different prices. It's the old school, you know, movie theater trick. When you go into the movie theater, you know, you buy a small popcorn and then, you know, you justify it by saying, well, you know what? Most people choose a medium, okay? That's just how it is. Most people just choose a medium, you know? That's why they did the medium. That's why they created the small, medium, and large, because they're like, okay, I want most people buying the medium, so they have a price range around, you know, a good price range in between, whatever the large and whatever the small is. I mean, most of you guys know how this works already. I don't got to explain this. So, that's what you should, break it down in your business. And I'd say most people are already doing this by now. Hopefully you are, but you would be surprised. I go into a lot of businesses and I meet with a lot of different types of business owners all the time. And, some people are characters, man. Some people are really, really freaking strange. Some people are just different individuals. And I'm going to give you a good example of, the different types of people that I meet with. See, I'll have, let's say, someone who owns a restaurant here in Los Angeles. They'll call me up and they'll say, hey, can you come in and can you take a look at my restaurant and, give me a price on what it would cost to advertise for my restaurant? Well, what we do is we do video marketing. We are a video marketing company, pretty much. That's what we do. We get people seen through social media. We'll take a video on social media and we'll get it seen by, 100,000, 1 million people, however many the business wants. And what we'll do is we'll get that video seen by people who are actively looking for whatever it is, that business has to offer. So if I have a restaurant call me up and they say, hey, come on out, take a look at our restaurant, tell me what it would cost to get seen by this many people per month. Okay, and I do that. I come out and I look at the business, and let's say this place is just trash, dirty looking floors. This happens a lot of times, folks. This happens a lot. This happens way more than you could ever imagine. You go out here and you look at these businesses and, they're like, hey, can you get me seen by 100,000 people per month? And I'm looking at their restaurant and it's, just trashed. And I'm like, you don't want me to do this because it's going to do the exact opposite of what you're intending on happen. This is where they're like, hey, make me look good. Well, if your business is trashed, if your restaurant is disgusting when I walk in and you're wanting me to put this on video, it's going to do the exact opposite of what you want that video to do. You cannot do this. So always make sure your restaurant looks the best. We can definitely, work with whatever most people give us, but I'm going to be honest with you. When I go into places like that and I see they're trashed, I tell those business owners I cannot work with them, and they get mad at me most times. Most times they're like, they're insulted, and I understand, this is a person's business, and they feel like their business is their baby or whatever, but at the same time, if it's your baby, take better care of it. Come on, dude, what are you doing, man? Clean this shit, get out the mops, get out the brooms, clean this stuff up, because I know if I'm looking at this place like, oh God, this is disgusting, then think of how people are thinking when they walk into this restaurant and they're seeing, trash on the floor, nasty, not clean. And you see a lot of major fast food places that are like this, you see all kinds of places. So it's not just the small businesses, other big companies are guilty of this too. I'm going to tell you, though, that Burger King has probably been one of the cleanest restaurants that I've ever worked at growing up. I started out at Burger King, and I'm telling you, when I worked at Burger King, they had a whole different standard. Now, I can't say what they are anymore because obviously I haven't worked at Burger King in a really long time. My kids are at the age where they probably would go get a job at Burger King or something like that now. But, it's one of those things where, a lot of these big corporations, they don't stand for that stuff. You go into a lot of McDonald's restaurants and stuff, they're going to be clean, most of the time. Most of the time you go into these places now, you do see different restaurants every now and again, big chains that aren't really taking care of business like they should, but, few and far in between, I would say. But, if you're not a big chain, then you don't have that revenue to rely on. So, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You can't get away with the same thing that, a McDonald's could get away with. You're not going to be able to get away with the same thing that a KFC could or a Wendy's. You can't get away with that. They can do it because these are billion-dollar corporations. Most of the time, you're probably not even $1 million restaurant. You're probably not even $1 million company. And I'm not just crapping on restaurants here. I'm saying every company out there. I don't care if you're a plumber. I've seen some plumbing outfits out there where these dudes that are coming out to my house, I'm worried that, they're going to come rob my house after they get off work the next night, So, I mean, these are things that you got to think about when you're a business owner. And a lot of business owners, they don't think about this. And, I may get crapped on by a lot of people for saying, well, why would you just assume someone's going to rob you, blah, 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 blah. They're a plumber, they got a job. Well, I'm going to tell you a funny little story. I knew this guy that had hired a landscaping company, and the landscaping company came out and they did a lot of work for him and stuff. And then when they were done, two of the landscapers decided to come back and break into this guy's shed and steal out his lawnmower. And he actually caught them because he had a camera in the back of his house, and he called the police, and they came out and he identified them. He's like, he figured out who they were. He's like, I seen these two on the landscaping crew that I had just hired to do some work in my backyard. So, I mean, this is something you business owners have to think about. There's, at that point in time, that landscaping company just now became reliable. I'd say that guy could probably go back and press charges or sue that company or do. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I don't know what he can and can't do, but I know that he's definitely not going to be singing the praises of that landscaping company. I know for sure that landscaping company now is going to feel the wrath of the two employees who decided to go steal from this company. So, folks, this is stuff you got to think about when you're a business owner. You have to realize that these people you have representing your company are representing your company. They're representing you. They're representing everything about you. And I don't care if you're the CEO of a large company or you're a startup that's in your mom's basement right now. It doesn't matter. Your employees are going to represent your company. So choose wisely. Choose wisely. So that's my little rant for the day. If you're a business owner out there, remember, social media is where it's going to be right now. Again, with 90% of people live in the United States on social media, these numbers are crazy. This means you know exactly where your audience is. You know where your customers are. But the problem is most of you guys out there don't know how to break through the noise to reach these customers. Well, that's what we're experts at. If you want to know more about United Ad Agency and how my company can help you, then reach out to us. My telephone number is 424-522-2572. That's our business number. So, reach out to us. We'll give you any advice that we can give you. Even if you're someone who can't afford our services, still give us a call. We want to help. We want to do what we can do right now because, hey, look, everybody's kind of uncertain where things are going with the economy right now. No one really knows where this is going to land. So let's just try to help each other where we can. And I appreciate everybody, for watching. If you took the time to watch this whole thing, I really appreciate that. And if you would please share this content, please. It helps me out so much, helps my company out so much. And you know what? If my dogs could think, they would thank you because it helps them out so much. So I appreciate your time today. And